Hi, I'm Joe Roth. At New Jersey Sharing Network, we're committed to saving and enhancing people's lives through organ and tissue donation and informing people about our life-saving mission. That's why we're proud to support programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Agnes Veris NJTV studio at 2 Gateway. Funding has been provided by TD Bank, Guarini Institute for Government and Leadership at St. Peter's University, New Jersey Resources, St. Joseph's Health, a passion for healing. It's what's inside us. Choose New Jersey. Our mission is attracting companies to the Garden State. New Jersey Sharing Network, dedicated to saving lives through organ and tissue donation. And by the New Jersey Office of the Insurance Fraud Prosecutor. Insurance fraud costs New Jersey families $1,300 a year.
Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. We call it gone but not forgotten when we look back at New Jerseyans who made a major contribution to this state. Back in 2013, we did a documentary on the 47th governor of the great state of New Jersey, Brendan T. Byrne. It was at an unveiling of Brendan Byrne statue, a monument, if you will, at the Essex County Courthouse. It was powerful. The people who spoke about him were powerful. Even though it was done 5 or so years ago, his significance, this documentary's significance, is more important, maybe today more than ever. It's about Brendan T. Byrne.
This is Steve Adubato on location at the Brendan T. Byrne Essex County Court Plaza. And behind me, you'll see a 7-foot statue of the Honorable Governor Byrne. And that is Governor Byrne right there. This is after the ceremony. There were 5 governors who spoke about Governor Byrne and other dignitaries who spoke about Governor Byrne. The accolades, the praise just kept coming, one speaker after the other. But it concluded with Governor Byrne, with his Irish wit, with his charm, with his straightforward way of connecting with people. The bottom line is this was a great day for Essex County, a great day for New Jersey, a great day for this country, and a great day for the Honorable Brendan T. Byrne. I'm Steve Adubato. Let's go to the videotape, as my friend Warner Wolf always liked to say. We're here with Jim Gisali, who really has a sense of Brendan Byrne in a way that others don't. We're here actually right in front of the statue that will be unveiled very soon. Talk to us, Jim, about Brendan Byrne.
Well, what can I say? Was lucky enough to work for him when I was an assistant prosecutor, and then when he was governor. We've had some great governors. In fact, most of our governors, since the modern state constitution was adopted, have been really very fine governors, and they've all had terrific traits. Many things distinguish Brendan, but in my view, what really characterizes his life and his career the most is his courage. He had tremendous courage to do the right thing, regardless of the political price.
One example?
He would have to pay. Well, I think many come to mind, but the income tax. When he supported the income tax back in 1976 or so, whatever the year was, everyone predicted that that would cause his demise as governor and that he could never be reelected. And that was the prediction. His approval rating after the income tax was 17% of the state of New Jersey, and that was just 9 months before the election. The public recognized what a great thing he had done and what a fine governor he was, showing intellectual honesty and integrity and, again, courage. But in so many levels, he did the unpopular thing regardless of the political consequences, and I think that's a great legacy.
Bob Marino from Horizon, one of the major sponsors, allowed for this to happen, supported it. Why?
We were honored to do this when Joe D. called us. Governor Byrne is an outstanding Essex County citizen. Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield has been an Essex County citizen for 80 years. This is only right and proper that we do this. And on a personal level, as an Essex County resident myself, I'm honored to be here today to be part of this.
We're here with two people that are recognizable to our audience, the county executive in Essex County, Joe DiVincenzo, and our governor, our former governor, but always our governor, Tom Kean. Joe, why today? The statue of Governor Byrne will be unveiled in just a few minutes. I'll ask the governor, Governor Kean, why he is here. But why today? Why Governor Byrne?
Well, first of all, Governor Byrne is an Essex County resident. Besides that, he was a Superior Court judge. He was a prosecutor. He was a governor in the state for 8 years. And after being the governor, he's also been very involved in issues concerning the state. And he's someone, went through a difficult time when he was elected. Nobody ever thought he was going to be reelected. And he got reelected. He made a tough decision. He stood by his principle, and he got it done. And you talk about the Meadowlands. If it was for Governor Byrne, we wouldn't have the Giants and Jets there right now. I mean, what we've done to this complex, we made it where I want people to be recognized for what they've done and the history of this county. So now when they come in here, walk in there, they see Governor Byrne's statue, and they know he was a presence. I want everyone.
This is Governor Byrne Plaza.
This is his plaza. Now we have a full statue. I believe it's the first statue, a 7-foot statue of any governor. I mean, that's what has been told to me.
I'm looking at Governor Kean, who was Governor Byrne's tennis partner. Is there any 7-foot statue for your tennis partner, Governor?
Listen, he needed it in tennis court.
Now, Joe D plays tennis too. Now, you might need a new partner because, 7 foot.
I'm always ready.
What, other than playing tennis with him, which you always loved, your sense of your colleague, your predecessor as governor?
Hey, well, look, he's unique in so many ways, and he's such an example of what a public citizen is and should be, and what a public official should be. And the fact that Joe D's recognized him this way is terrific. Look, I was a Republican leader in the legislature. Brendan Byrne was governor. We disagreed on a lot of stuff. We met all the time, and out of that relationship, we became the closest of friends. That's the way politics should be. That's the way government should be. That's the way Brendan Byrne is. And his whole life has been dedicated to trying to make New Jersey a better place. So we should recognize him, and when people come to this plaza, because of this guy's leadership, they're going to say, who was that? And some kid is going to learn what a good public servant should be. And Brendan Byrne's the example.
We're here with Jay Warren, who is the sculptor, the guy who put together this extraordinary 7-foot statue of the Honorable Brendan T. Byrne. It's beautiful. Everyone loves it. When you talk about the character of Brendan Byrne, how would you describe it?
The humor comes out a lot, Very humorous, but very sincere and thoughtful. It's the pose I put him in is one I kept seeing over and over, with his fingers laced, standing and listening to someone speaking to him. A very thoughtful, contemplative pose. So that's what I really wanted to bring forward in it.
It's beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
We are here with Harold Hodes. It was said by, I think, Governor McGreevey that Brendan Byrne accomplished a lot of great things as governor, but it was sometimes with Harold Hodes's blood. Now, Harold Hodes was the chief of staff to the governor. Was there that much blood? You guys had some tough fights, the income tax, school funding, the Meadowlands, the Pinelands. Was there a lot of blood?
No, it was a bipartisan approach back then, but you needed to exert some influence within the legislature, as you well know. And the governor was a man of principle and integrity, and that's what was said today.
You're being so dignified and political about it, but Harold, come on, seriously. When people ask, how the heck do you get it done when so few can get it done, is there one secret that you want to share with folks about how bipartisanship could actually work and get things accomplished?
Sure. First of all, you have to know the district. You have to know the legislature. You would have to know what he can do and what he can't do. You show him the proper respect, you keep your word, and you have integrity. And you'll be able to work it out. And you take one issue at a time.
But what was it and what is it about Brendan Byrne? Again, you guys are a team. But what was it about Brendan Byrne during those years of 1974 to 1981 that had him be the kind of leader that he was? Again, in 77, help me, people said one term, that's it. No way he gets reelected. What did you and what did Brendan Byrne see and know that you said, wait a minute, we have a shot here? That was after the income tax. So how unpopular, first of all?
Well, he had, in the primary, he had his cabinet run against him.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Give a little history. People he appointed in his own cabinet said, we're running against you.
Yes, and he also had 2 congressmen run against him. Presently was Bob Rowe and Jim Florio.
Hold on. Democrats ran against the Democratic governor.
Right.
Okay.
And the mayor of Jersey City, Paul Jordan, reformer, ran against him also. So therefore, we went into the primary, and Brendan Byrne cut a commercial on the steps of the State House and said, I made a mistake. I told you there wouldn't be an income tax. There needs to be an income tax, and I thought it was the right thing to do for the state of New Jersey. And that's the whole campaign. And it was his integrity, and no one else came up with a different type of plan that would balance the budget, as he did.
Let me get this straight. So I think what Harold Hodes is saying is Brendan Byrne actually told the truth. No spinning, no trying to play games with words. He said, I made a mistake, not with trying to raise the income tax, but with not telling you I was going to raise the income tax. That was the mistake, yes. And people bought it.
Yes, but at the end, people started to switch their positions in the election around September, and momentum picked up, and he won the primary, and we went on from there. We started out about 20 points down in the summertime. He worked at it, and people understood what Byrne did.
And the moral of this, since I haven't really seen much of that since, Harold, is what?
Integrity is the moral of the story. Keep your word, do what you believe in doing, and at the end of the day, you'll come out a winner.
We're here with Essex County Sheriff Romano Fontoura. There's a crowd that has gathered in front of the 7-foot statue of the Honorable Brendan Byrne. An amazing outpouring of love and support for a guy that you've known for many, many years, a law enforcement community. People that know him as a prosecutor, right?
I knew him as a prosecutor. I was down in Newark Police Department. He was a tough prosecutor. And when I became sheriff, he didn't like sheriffs. And he made it clear that the office of sheriff should be eliminated. So he said before we came, he said, no, I love Armando. He's the best sheriff ever, but we used to be enemies. I said, no, I was your friend. I always loved you. Always loved him. He's a terrific guy. He's a wonderful person. He's a great, great Essex County guy. He is Essex County.
Good afternoon, everyone. And to all of the governors. It is extremely difficult, trust me, I work in the State House, to be a popular governor. It is extremely difficult when there is bipartisan love for you. And why so many of you are here today is because where we are is where Brendan Byrne developed the foundation of the career that he would subsequently have. Many of you from the judiciary and from the law firms of the area are here because you worked with him throughout the years. Those of you involved in government also, under his leadership, took the state to new places. But I believe why he is such a popular governor is because of his humility. I have been in Newark Airport and smiled at seeing Brendan Byrne pull along his little small Pullman suitcase, not allowing anyone to help him. I have observed him on many occasions, and I don't know what he and Ruthie are going to do because Val's cabin is closed. But I have seen on many occasions him enjoying a meal, fraternizing and talking with all of the local people from the community who come in for a bite to eat. But what I love most is a photo I couldn't bring with you today. During the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte, every day in the New Jersey Hotel, they would put out refreshments from 5 to 7. And I have a classic photo of Brendan Byrne in his bathrobe with a towel wrapped around his neck, coming down for his daily refreshment. Brendan Byrne, that's why we love you. You are real people in the Essex County tradition. Congratulations. It's an honor to welcome.
Any event in Newark or Essex County that matters, you'll see John Schreiber, the CEO of the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. We are, again, standing in front of this extraordinary statue honoring the Honorable Brendan T. Byrne. Your sense of the governor and your sense of this extraordinary event, John?
Well, anytime you get every former governor existent showing up for something and somebody, you know that it's for somebody remarkable. So, you know, these days when Washington is behaving as it is, to have this show of bipartisanship, to show how government can work at its best is terrific. It really warms your heart, you know?
And Brendan Byrne is a supporter of the arts.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
as is Ruthie.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Brendan is as regular a visitor, Brendan and Ruthie, to NJPAC as anybody. They come to all sorts of things, you know, classical, pop, jazz, great theater lovers. You know, Tom Kane and Brendan, these are the original arts governors.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Steve.
People ask me, you know, he's a Democrat, you're a Republican. How did you get to be such close friends? Let me tell you, I was a Republican leader in the legislature. He was a Democratic governor. He didn't have to consult me on everything, but he consulted me on most things. And the policies, all those wonderful things that he did, if you look back at them, every single one of them was bipartisan, the Republicans and Democrats. And that was part of the work of this guy who brought people together. He set the kind of an example that, of course, some of our friends in Washington should be looking at today. He did all these great accomplishments, but to me, you build a 7-foot statue, not just of accomplishments. You build it because of who that guy is, because of the kind of example he sets to us all about what a public servant really should be in this democracy. What you have to do to be that kind of a public service, how you bring people together. I used to call it the politics of inclusion. He is the politics of inclusion. He brought everybody together, left and right, behind things that were good for the state. He has never in his entire life done something that he didn't think was in the best interest of the state. And that's an incredible statement to me. You know, he was wrong back those days as governor from time to time. Just as he's wrong in the ledger every week or so. But he was wrong because of fervently held beliefs. And we argue, and yet we're the best of friends. And that's how you should be in government. That really is how you should be in government. You know, think of the words of the great Chilean poet Pablo Neruda. Brendan, I come here today to pound on your heart with love. You and New Jersey will always be perfect together.
When we come here today to dedicate this statue, in antiquity, statues were a means by which the emperor could continue to preside with influence throughout the region. And whether it was the ancient Greeks at Olympia or the Romans with the statue of Diana, sculpture served a purpose, many times larger than its subject. And we learn so much of a culture and of a people by examining your sculpture. Today we honor a man who, although not from antiquity, almost 40 years ago took the oath of office of this state's governorship. And I would suggest that Governor Byrne's life answered the question by which the prophet Micah posed to all of us. And what does the Lord require of you? And the prophet responded, to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Governor Byrne was part of America's greatest generation. After serving the United States Army Air Corps, he received, as was noted, the Distinguished Flying Cross and 4 Air Medals. He proceeded to Princeton and then to Harvard Law School, subsequently working for Governor Minor, and then being appointed Essex County prosecutor by Governor Minor, and again reappointed by Governor Hughes in 1964. Having served on the Superior Court, he won the Democratic primary in 1973. And yet, despite the political process, the give and take, the thrust and parry, Brendan Byrne always remained loyal and adhered to his principles. As Ralph Waldo Emerson stated, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Brendan Byrne maintained his fealty to his principles and was never afraid of the tough challenges.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon. I just thank Jim McGreevy for leaving me nothing left to say. I'm really pleased to be able to help all of us in commemorating the accomplishments of Brendan. You can sense the warmth in the audience. You can sense the feeling of the enthusiasm, and that's something important. I guess the only thing I would like to add to what's been said, maybe even to address the younger people in the audience who know Brendan as someone who's collegial, someone who's friendly, someone who has a great sense of humor. But those of us who have been around for a long period of time know the other side of Brendan, which is a hard-driving policy person who works very hard on the things that he cares about most.
To my friend Governor Byrne, you know, I think for all of us, and I think I'll take the risk of speaking for my predecessors who are here and even for the ones who aren't. He has been a very tough act to follow. It is difficult to do this job and be funny at the same time. I have often found, sitting in that office, that there are at times few things to laugh about. But one of the powers of Governor Byrne's leadership was not only that he did all the important things, and I agree with Governor Florio. Well, McGreevy took all of it. He took every listing. He quoted every person he could quote. Everybody was, and every one of us who came after him, and I was throwing away our talking points because McGreevy took all of it, except for perfect together, because we all know that that's Keynes, and none of us can take that. But one of the powers of his leadership was not only that he accomplished great things on behalf of the people of the state, things that have created a legacy for him and for the people of the state, but also that he kept his own leadership in perspective through his sense of humor, through his understanding of the fact that he was a temporary steward of this office, and that while the issues were to be taken seriously, he never has taken himself too seriously. And I think that's one of the reasons why the people of this state related to him so well and continue to relate to him so well. Governor McGreevy alluded to the fact that that wasn't always the case. Reminds me of one of Governor Byrne's bits of advice to me when I became governor. He said to me, from my experience, he said, when you're traveling out around the state as governor, when people are waving to you with all 5 fingers, things are going well. And he seemed to talk about that from experience. So he never took the challenges lightly, but he always understood that the honor and the privilege of being governor was something that was to be savored. And all the advice and counsel that he's given to me over the course of the last 3.5 years have always been infused with that perspective. That the issues are difficult and that you need to confront them honestly and in a straightforward way, but that you always have to keep perspective on the fact that first and foremost, you're there to serve the people, and that while the office is serious, that you just can't every day take yourself too seriously. People relate to that type of leadership in a human way, whether they've agreed with him in the past or they've disagreed with him. And so he has set a great example for each and every one of us who has come since him to this office. Someone who strove to achieve great things, but always kept in perspective the friendships, the relationships that permitted him to build this legacy.
Having a chance to serve people of New Jersey, people of Essex County, was a great privilege.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Agnes Veris NJTV studio at 2 Gateway. Funding has been provided by TD Bank, Guarini Institute for Government and Leadership at St. Peter's University, New Jersey Resources, St. Joseph's Health, Choose New Jersey, New Jersey Sharing Network, and by the New Jersey Office of the Insurance Fraud Prosecutor. Promotional support provided by Commerce Magazine and by Jaffe Communications, where business, media, and government converge in New Jersey.
Our world relies on secure digital systems. What's vulnerable? Everything. Infrastructure, finance, national security. Everything is connected, so everything is at risk. Cybersecurity experts are needed in every industry. St. Peter's University Cybersecurity Master's Degree Program and Premier Cyber Center identifies threats and combats attacks. To secure the future, be a part of building it with St. Peter's University Cybersecurity Program.